This may well be the most satisfying EV install that I've ever done. However, not everything went to plan. I've had an absolute disaster here. I've never done this before, the core drill bit. So let me show you the setup. The EV charger is going there. This is the potential only complication with this job. The other side of this wall is where my supply comes in. The main consumer unit for the house is in the house, but I don't need it. I'm going to put my new board here, supply in, I've got room here for my terminal blocks, and then straight through the wall to the charger. Now, although this comes across as super easy, if you rush this, it's still going to look rubbish. So when I come across jobs like this, I'm still going to take my time, install the best gear, and do the best job I possibly can. Let's do it. This is basically all the equipment that I'm going to require for this job. I have my Priorities consumer unit, a couple of blanks and an RCBO, 100 amp terminal block, some stuffing glands and some meter tails. Don't forget the junction box, which I'm going to connect up my CT2 into later. And of course, the Doncaster Cables EV Ultra. If you're new to the channel, I like to install these Priorities three-way consumer units. Even though the EV charger only requires one way, I like to future-proof if I can. They don't have solar or battery storage here, or any other way of getting a supply out here anywhere. So if they want an additional circuit, I have the spare ways in this board so they can do that rather than trying to get a supply from the consumer unit in the house somewhere. They may want electric gates, for example. Just take the supply from here. Before I start drilling anything, I want to make sure the consumer unit position is sorted and make sure everything is exactly where I want it. If the planning's right, the installation normally goes much easier. When I'm thinking about positioning my consumer unit, I'm thinking about lots of things, including the way that the cables are going to look. So I'm going to be breaking into these meter tails here. If I put the consumer unit here, I can loop my tails out into the blocks here. These are going to loop into it and they will loop into it. So we'll have three nice looking loops there. Then I can take my EV Ultra cable out of the bottom also with a nice loop. Just run it along here, up to this corner and through the wall. That's going to keep this looking really nice and tidy. Consumer unit has some handy knockouts at the bottom. It has a 32, a 25 and a 20mm, and I'm just going to deburr the paint, which makes putting in these glands much easier, and they're all ready to go. The inside skin of the garage is thermolite block, which is super soft, which means I don't need to use a drill on hammer. I can use my small 12 volt Milwaukee drill, and as you're going to see, it goes through this block like butter. Even though this block work is super soft, you can still get really good fixings into it, so I'm not worried about that at all. And once that is secure, I can then get my 100 amp terminal blocks and fix them also. But notice I don't need a CPC one. See if you can spot why later on. So with this now, we have the neutral on the left hand side of the meter, the line on the right, which means when the cables come out of the meter, the neutral is going to be on the right, which is going to swoop straight into here, and my line into there. And the way these come out of the trunk in, again, the neutral is on the left, so that's going to go into there. The line in the right is going to fall in there, but we're going to get a bit of a cable cross here because inside this main switch, my line is on the left and my neutral's on the right, which leaves me two options. One, cross the cables here somewhere, or try and cross them inside here. That's going to make this hard work unnecessarily. So I'm going to dress them in here in such a way that you won't even notice. Time to install my meter tails. I always use 25mm with a 16mm CPC. In goes the blue, the brown, and then what I like to do is bend over the conductors and then cut them off so I have a nice square clean edge to pinch up when I do up my terminal screws. And this drill I'm using, it's on a super low torque setting, so don't worry. Now with my EV Ultra, I need to think about, it's not just that I need inside there. Inside this cable we have a Cat 5 which I'm using for my CT clamp, and I'm going to pass my Cat 5 back outside here. But I don't know where I'm going to put my connection box yet. So I'm going to make this a little bit longer and give myself that little bit of play. Some other Sparkies have messaged me on Instagram recently telling me that they don't bother with load curtailment. What are your thoughts on this? Because I like to use it every single time. Why wouldn't you install that CT clamp? Someone let me know in the comments. Anyway, if you're looking for a decent consumer unit, as you can see there is plenty of workspace inside this one, which is why I like it. That's all the glands nipped up, and as you can see there, I'm pulling that Cat 5 back through and out. That is ready for that little whisker box. In goes the RCBOs and the blanks, ferrule up my connections and cut the ends off. And after a little bit of a chat with myself, this is where I've decided to fix my Wago box.
and that's the Cat 5 ready to go.
And I'm going to leave that here until it's a suitable time to turn off the power for my clients. Now I'm going to work out how I'm going to drill that hole through the wall. Now before I install this charger, I'm just going to check my notes and make sure that I've got the right colour. Everything's logged on Traderify, my customers' details, all the conversations that we've had, and the materials that I needed for this job today. I can access Traderify on my phone so I can pick up where I left off on any job at any point at any time. I can see my quote, when it was viewed, when it was accepted, and once I've finished here today, I can update the job, upload all my test results, any photos, videos, and I can send the invoice before I even leave. Having a place where everything lives just saves a lot of time. And if this sounds like a good fit for you, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, along with my promo code SOTA30, where you can get 30% off your first 3 months and also a 2-week free trial. So you can see what it's all about.
If you stumbled across this video because you're looking to get an EV charger installed or what the chargers look like, this is the Simpson Partners. And if you're after a quality install, feel free to drop me a message. I'll leave a link in the description below.
I love all the colours that Simpson Partners offer with their chargers. And this is the first time I've done this colour today. And it's medium bronze with the black lid. And in different lights, it looks different. So it looks quite goldy here, but I'll show you later on when it's on the wall and you can really see that lovely bronze effect.
Another thing I really like about this charger is that the actual body of the unit has a 10-year warranty and the electronics inside all come with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty good. One last screw to undo and then this front cover will pop off, and then I'm ready to drill my hole, ready for my cable entry.
Before I drill my hole in the back of this, I think it's worth checking on the wall to see where that's going to fall and see if I can even get it at that angle. Is it even possible? Because we have quite a big thick pillar here, and also the framework for the garage door that I need to avoid. And we're going a little bit higher with this one because my customer doesn't want to be bending down there. Once it's there, that's fine, that's up to them. But I have measured there to the center of this pillar where this is going to fall is 16 centimeters on this side. But on this side, 16 centimeters is there, right on the framework. And then to get inside here, I have about another 16 centimeters. I can't drill straight through the wall because I'll hit that. I'm going to have to drill at quite a big angle.
So this is where things started to go wrong for me. Now I measured this plenty of times, believe me. I wanted to get this bang on.
Because I'm going through the course for the hole and the inside is thermolite, I'm just using the battery SDS, and I'm not going straight through with the core drill bit. I'm going to use this 8mm bit first of all. Just because if I need to make any corrections, it's easier to do it with this than it is with the core drill bit.
So the first mistake I made was to forget to press record when I drilled this hole through the wall. Well, I didn't actually quite get to go through all of the wall because of the angle, it's really far. So I've had to get out my metre-long drill bit to finish the job.
Come through there. That will look lovely with my looper cable. Now, core drill.
As you can see, no damage to the inside block so far. My core drill bit isn't long enough to go all the way through one way, so I'm going to have to go through both sides, which you're going to see very shortly. Because I'm not using a pilot bit in my core drill bit, I have to drill straight first of all and then gradually taper the drill at an angle to where I want it to go through. The reason I'm poking the other drill bit back through the wall is just so I can make sure that I get my angle right, and as you can see, that what I'm doing there is just lining it up. I've gone as far as I can this side, so now it's back round to inside the garage to drill that way. Same process, put the drill back through the wall to make sure I can get the angle right and then go for it. Everything was going to plan as usual, and then this happened.
I've had an absolute disaster here. I've never done this before with a core drill bit. And that was from drilling this side that popped off. So I'm going to have to try and make that look better. I've got this bit still and I've got some dust, and I'm going to get my cable through and try and patch this up the best I can. Never happened before.
I was really upset about this. But you have two options. You can dwell on the problem or you can try and fix it, and I'm all about solutions, not problems. So in goes the EV Ultra cable anyway. We're going to carry on and we're going to fix this later on. Now with the cable through the wall, I can see what I'm really dealing with.
Now let's see if I can fix this wall. I've got this mitre bond and this adhesive here, so I'm literally going to stick that bit on there and then pack it out a little bit with a bit of sealant and then brush that dust back on it and see how good I can get this looking.
On goes the glue, and then I'm going to clean up around the edges and stick that piece back on. It doesn't look great if I'm honest at the minute, but there are a couple more stages to this repair, and I know some people would probably say don't worry about it, it's just in the garage, but to me it means a lot because I want to produce the best work out there possible.
This has really annoyed me doing this, but you know what, accidents happen, we're only human. So stage 1 of the repair is complete. That is stuck on there, but we have little gaps around it still, so I'm going to use a bit of decorator's cork, patch it up, and then hopefully by the time I'm finished all of this, that would have gone off enough to maybe apply a bit of paint if I can find some.
This is where we are at the minute, so it's time to get that cork out and fill it the best I possibly can and just try and give it some sort of smooth edged finish. Okay, I've calmed down a little bit. I found this a little bit therapeutic if I'm honest with you. I'm just using this big white pick just to sort of smooth it off and give it some sort of textured finish. For now, that is going to have to do. Let's hope it dries in time so I can get a little bit of paint on it if I can find some.
Hopefully I can pull this off. I've already shown my client and I'm definitely more unhappy about the whole thing than he is, but let's see. I just hope that I can make this look good. Anyway, on with the charger.
The cable still needs a stuffing gland inside the charger, but with the Simpson Partners there's enough room to invert one, which means now I can put the charger on the wall with a level and mark all of my holes. Once I've drilled my holes, I can then strip back my EV Ultra cable, seal up the cable entry hole with some mastic, and then fix the charger back to the wall. You can see a little bit of the hole on the side of the charger there, and that's just because of the angle, but that will get sealed up a little bit later on. You won't even notice it.
This is my window of opportunity to turn off my customer while they're not on calls. So I'm going to get this done. Like that, all done.
We're getting there now, and that wall is drying off quite nicely. Now I'm just connecting up those CT connections with these Wagos that come with the charger, ferrule up my cables, and then connect it all up. Back on goes the first cover, and then screw on the brackets.
And now for the cover. You get to customise the top, not just the body of these. So I have this, for example, they have wooden and metal lids. So it's nice that you really do get a choice of how you want it to look on the front of your house. But let's see how this one sort of changes colour.
Now I'm not really sure if you can see it, to be honest with you, but there is a slight change of colour, and it's just how the light hits it and how it reflects.
Okay, this is it. Let's see if I can save this wall. Sometimes even the easiest of jobs just don't go to plan, but it's all about working around those problems and sorting out your mistakes. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, love you all, see you next week.